Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Half a day and welcome back to Healthy Living. If you are just tuning in, we are talking water and its benefits. And joining me is Dr. Jitka Lom, who is ready to answer some of your questions. All right, Doc, so our first viewer asks, is it true there are benefits to drinking warm water when you first wake up in the morning and before you go to bed?
It's very helpful to drink water both before bed and early in the morning to support your digestion. And also, of course, during the night you're not drinking, usually you're sleeping, so to stay hydrated during the night, it's very nice to have a glass of water. The temperature of the water, the ideal water for you to drink most of the time if you're at rest is room temperature water. Let me tell you a couple of things. If you drink hot water, your body has to bring everything back to your body temperature, right? To homeostasis. That's the word that means balance in the Latin. So if we drink very hot water, the body somehow has to get that heat out and bring it to the lower temperature. How does it do that? By creating sweat. So we drink hot water, we perspire, we evaporate some of our fluids, and we cool down. So by drinking hot water, you can actually cool down. Conversely, you're feeling very hot on a hot day, you drink some cold water, it feels kind of refreshing, but the body systems involved actually have to heat up that water a little bit to bring it back up to your body temperature. So you're actually using energy to be able to absorb that water. So if you're on a very hot day, it's best to actually drink sort of not freezing cold water, just cool.
Oh, that's very interesting. Now, does the amount of water you drink vary with age?
It does. Typically, elderly people are very chronically dehydrated. Again, their thirst impulse has gone down. Their reflex for drinking isn't there as much as it used to be. And they'll be very dry and tend to get more urinary tract infections and kidney problems. Kidney stones is another thing that happens with low hydration. The very young people can get into that problem, especially babies. The ones in the middle will tend to remember to drink. Mentally ill people also, or disabled people, may not have access, so we have to make sure they get their water intake also.
Okay. Now, our next viewer is asking, can adding fruits or vegetables to your water help your body? But I also had, just an extension to that question. I'm a tea drinker.
Yes.
And, I love to drink tea. And, of course, tea has water in it.
It does have water in it.
So I say, oh, well, you have to drink more water, you have to drink more water. But I'm like, well, I am drinking water. It's just flavored.
Your tea does count. Yeah, it is flavored. It's fine. People have this misconception that if you drink caffeine, you're going to somehow dehydrate yourself. You're still taking in water. It's just the caffeine content of your tea or coffee will help you get rid of some of that water. So you will lose a little bit, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that kind of thing. But back to the fruits and vegetables, these are high water content foods. So if you can try to eat lettuce, vegetables, fruits, you're going to be able to take some of that in. Remember, we're 70% water, so is a fruit, so is a vegetable. You can eat something that's very similar to your own body that way. As far as that, many people don't recognize that they're thirsty. They'll be eating to try to get some water content from their food. So prior to eating, a great thing to do is have a nice glass of water, rest for 5-10 minutes, and then eat. And you'll find that perhaps you're not quite as hungry.
Okay, now just had a question off of that one. Now, is it true that you shouldn't drink water with your meals?
While you're eating, right.
Yeah.
So then there's that thing. For optimal digestion, you would like to take a bite of your food, chew it for a long period of time, and then swallow it. When you're using water to help yourself swallow the food, you're perhaps not getting the full benefit of chewing, which is our first part of digestion. So ideally, when you're eating food, you would just eat the food, chew it very well, and use your saliva as the main way of sort of making it moist and smooth and getting it down. Of course, you can have sips of water, but you want to avoid drinking large quantities of water while eating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, another viewer is asking, does carbonated water count toward my daily intake?
Sure, it counts. it's still water, it's still liquid in there. It's not pure water. Pure water is the best, but especially if you put a little lemon in it or calamansi, that's ideal. But certainly carbonated beverages are still hydrating you. They just also tend to have a lot of sugar in them and some other chemicals that might not be that beneficial to you. But they're still part of your water intake for the day.
Okay. Now, can you share with us what is alkaline water?
Oh, yeah. Alkaline water, okay, our bodies are at a certain pH, right? For life, to sustain your life, your body needs to be at a pH of about 7.4. That's very precise. A little bit less than that, you're already in really big trouble. 7.3, 7.2. We can measure this in the hospital when people get blood gases done. Or conversely, if you get a little too alkaline, but that's very uncommon. So again, this is homeostasis, this is balance. Our body systems of metabolism tend to make us quite acidic, also depending on what we're eating. If we're eating a lot of meats, and if we're staying underhydrated, a little dehydrated chronically, we'll become kind of acidic, just a little bit, just enough to make us get kidney stones, feel tired, achy, not be functioning at our best. So alkaline water has a pH that's a little bit higher, okay? So 7 point, whatever it is, 5, 6, something like that. And by drinking that water, we're neutralizing some of the acids that we have in our stomach and offsetting some of the acidity that we've created through daily living. So it's a nice balancing tool, okay? You don't have to drink alkaline water. You could even have a little bit of baking soda that you could put in. Some people will have a little baking soda in their water in the morning and drink that, or brush their teeth with baking soda. That's another way of neutralizing your system. You can check how you're doing on your pH by urinating onto some testing strips. You can buy them at the pharmacy. They're called pH strips. And you can urinate on that and measure and see, well, today I'm at 7.4. Yesterday I was at 7.3. Oh yeah, I didn't drink enough, or whatever. You can measure that and see how you're doing and do a little science experiment on yourself by drinking alkaline water.
Thank you so much, Jitka.
You're welcome. It tends to make people feel better. There's a lot of talk about how alkaline water will extend your life. What will extend your life is by staying with healthy, water-rich, nutritious foods and drinking lots of pure, beautiful water that we're so fortunate to have here on this island.
All right. And with that, we'll be back to wrap up the show when Healthy Living returns.